Hello and welcome to Cuesta Sports Monthly, an in-depth look at Cuesta athletics. I'm Peter Schuler, and on this month's show we'll be joined by men's basketball assistants Casey Blair and Alex Engel. We'll also welcome women's basketball coach Ron Barba, and just before we go, we'll steal a few moments with athletic director Bob Mariucci. First up on Cuesta Sports Monthly is men's basketball. Men's basketball won its third straight conference title and reached the postseason for the fourth consecutive season. Cougars are prepping for their first round game in Chula Vista, so we're lucky to have assistants Casey Blair and Alex Engel join us today. Casey, Alex, welcome to Cuesta Sports Monthly. Coming down there, you guys are seeded number 12 in the Southern California Regional Playoffs. You get to face off with number 5 Southwestern down in Chula Vista tomorrow night. So what are you guys looking at? How do you guys feel like you're matching up against the Jaguars?
Well, it should be a great matchup. It's the 5 and the 12. Southwestern's 20-8. We're 19-9. So it should be a great matchup. And as you know, in March Madness, the 5 and the 12. The 12 is usually the favorite for an upset. So we're hoping we can pull it down at Chula Vista this weekend.
And you're in that bracket right there where
Yes.
the toughest team you're going to play is number
Correct,
4.
correct.
So the top 4 going to state.
Yes.
You have a good spot where you only have to beat the number 4 team to go to the state, which would be the first
Correct.
time since '97.
Correct.
So, okay. So one of the things I noticed looking at the two teams, Cuesta is generally a forward-oriented team. Chula Vista is also really uses their forwards. They're the two best players. How do you guys feel like you match up on the floor with those guys?
I mean, they're a little more athletic. They're definitely more of a inside kind of power team. We're a little more finesse, shoot the ball type of team. So we're just kind of have to stay within our system. If we stay and do what our coaching staff has put in for the plan for the game, we'll be all right. You know, if they get inside, use their athleticism, it could be a long night. So it's kind of who's going to prepare better for the game is what's going to make the outcome, basically.
Now, you guys have spent a lot of time on the road. You had the early season Rabobank tournament, and then after that, you spent about a month and a half playing on the road.
Long time.
You guys feel pretty comfortable going on the road to face a team like that? They're only one game better than you.
Yeah, we're used to traveling. I mean, this is nothing new for us. I mean, every game in the league is 2 to 3 hour trip.
That's true.
So this is normal for us.
Now, in a conference like the Western State Conference, where you range from down in the LA area up to here, what does it take to kind of win consistently in that bracket? I mean, you have some good teams. Ventura's won a couple state titles. Some of the other teams, Moore Park's always solid. What does it take to win in a conference like that?
You definitely have to protect home. I think that's the most important thing. If you don't protect your home court, you're not going to have a chance. Because especially for us, we have to travel so far. You know, for a lot of the teams, if you go Ventura to Oxnard, it's only 30 minutes. You know, for us, it's a 2.5 hour drive. So if you can't protect your home court, you're going to struggle, and then you got to be able to steal a couple on the road. If you don't get at least 2 or 3 on the road, you're probably not going to be able to win the conference.
Kind of the advantage of being the road warriors, you're used to that distance, driving down in conference. Those other teams might not be as used to it, so it's a little bit tougher for them.
Right,
so
exactly.
That's great. That's great. One of the things we've seen with Cuesta Basketball recently has been the influx of European players. What do you think? You guys have both played for Cuesta College. How does that change both your style as a player? How does that affect your development as a player, playing with people who have played outside of the United States, and as a coach? How does that?
Well, I mean, I played 1 year in Europe, and I know Coach played 15 years in Europe, so we're used to the style of play they bring to America. And we like the kids, their citizens, the academic, the structure they use, so it fits our philosophies perfectly. And it's been a perfect match over the last 8 to 10 years.
Right, tremendous amount of success. And how about for you, Alex?
I definitely, playing with them when I first got here, my first year was really the first year we had a lot. I think we had 10 Europeans on that team, or 10 international guys. And it was just a whole different style. You got to see things that, you didn't really see over here in basketball, and now they're starting to become more popular. So some of the stuff they were doing in Europe, now I see in the NBA. So that was definitely fun, and coaching them, I mean, it's been great. Like Casey said, you see guys that speak 3-4 languages, have lived in different parts of the world. English for some of these guys is their 4th language. What's fun for me is some of the guys that don't speak English very well, and by the end of the year, they're speaking fluently. It's kind of cool to see that transition. So it's like being able to travel to another country without having to do the traveling.
Yeah, we talk about Cuesta College having that small university feel just because we do have such a draw from outside the area, but now we also have the kind of the world university feel, having that kind of thing.
Right.
There's a lot of positives. Coach Rusty Blair played 15 years in Europe, had a tremendous career there after playing at University of Oregon. His system there, coaching pro, a lot of those club systems will work into that pro system that he runs here at Cuesta College. What are some of the challenges, though? Because there's getting the local players. I mean, you guys went to local high schools, San Luis Obispo and Morro Bay. having that exposure that your teammates and players have had compared to where you were here in St. Louis County?
I think it's mixing the philosophies of the local kids, the domestic kids from American and International, and bringing them all together to play as a team. And the language barriers, as Coach Engel was alluding to, is probably the biggest factor in bringing them all together.
So as a local player, what was it? Was that part of the draw to have that experience, exposure? When we talked about local players, they may see the European players come in or the foreign players come in, and that may be intimidating to them. You guys weren't intimidated. Obviously, you were recruited heavily from your youth. Yeah. But what was those things that brought, made the Cuesta College program special for you guys? I mean, Alex, Casey, you went on to play pro in Europe. Alex, you went on to Menlo College and continued your basketball career out of here. Mm-hmm. Both had a big jump out of here, out of Cuesta College. How did that help you, and what can you say to other local talent that would want to learn something about coming to basketball, play basketball at Cuesta College?
I mean, I would definitely say that the success of the program academically as well as on the court. Obviously, I think 5 out of the last 7 championships we've won. So that was a draw. I knew Coach Blair from when I was a little kid too, running around. So that was a draw too, as someone that I was kind of familiar with. And as far as exposure-wise, you're going to be traveling all around the state. Coach Blair's been coaching for now 22, 23 years. So he's met and talked to a lot of people. He's going to know other coaches. So it's definitely a great program that you're going to start from San Luis, go all the way up to Northern California, San Francisco, go all the way down to LA. You're going to be seen by tons of different coaches, tons of different players. So as an exposure thing, it's something that you don't have in San Luis Obispo because it's a smaller community. In high school, unless you go out and play club basketball, you really don't get out of the area very often. So I think, like you were saying, for exposure, it's a huge thing. And I think for me, that's why I wanted to come here.
Now, talk a little bit, Casey, you've been involved with this, the reputation of Cuesta basketball. Your dad's very, very proud of the fact that every one of his sophomores has had an opportunity to play at the next level. How does that build into the identity of the program there, that going on?
Well, first and foremost, we want academic kids. I think that's evident with the 5 out of the last 8 years we've been Scholar Team of the Year. So that's the first and foremost thing we want. We want academic kids, and then we want kids that work hard, buy into our structure and program, and then from there is just combining the two and getting exposed to the next level while winning games at Cuesta.
Now, one other thing we talked about earlier about the use of forwards, the Southwestern, a rare team kind of in the community college that uses forwards to kind of run their system. Mm-hmm. Cuesta has always been kind of more front court oriented. Coach Blair being 6'9", you guys were both point guards here. What's the difference? Just the point guards in our system don't score a lot. Is it more of it just because you're running that system? Is that?
I think part of it is Coach Blair likes a point guard who distributes the ball because the more, at least for us, a point guard that distributes the ball is going to help our offense go. And when our offense goes, obviously our team does a lot better. A lot of teams run more point guard oriented where the point guard's scoring a lot. We see point guards that average 20 points a game but only give 1 assist a game. Right. Where our guys will maybe average 8 to 10 points and have 5 assists. When I was playing here, we had a guy who led the state and has the all-time record, and Casey's is second place for all-time record in the school's history. So it's just a different style. We like to share the ball. If you come and watch our games, you'll see we share the ball a lot. It's not a lot of one-on-one.
It is a fun kind of basketball to watch.
Right.
And we wish you both best of luck with the team down there in Chula Vista against Southwestern.
Thank you.
We'd like to thank Alex Engel and Casey Blair joining us here on Cuesta Sports Monthly. Up next, women's basketball with Ron Barba.
Cuesta.edu. Television, radio, broadcast, communication. Explore the world of digital communication and tap into your creative genius. Television, radio, broadcast, communication.
This is your boy, the DUI, and you're listening to KGUR.org.
Your digital future is at Cuesta College right now. Log on to Cuesta.edu now for enrollment dates and class information.
Don't get the boom in this shot.
Blown it, bro.
Cuesta.edu.
Basketball coach Ron Barba and star forward Jericho Crosby. This is Coach Barba's 5th year with the Cougars, and they have increased their winning season total each year, including 23 this season, and they just finished their playoff run back from Riverside this weekend. I'd like to thank Ron Barba and Jericho Crosby for joining us. I know it was a late night for you guys, so hopefully we can keep you going here a little bit and make it through the segment. Coach, just real quick, tough loss down there at Riverside last night, but you made the playoffs for the 3rd straight year.
Right.
What's your takeaway from the season so far?
Well, I think the game down in Riverside was obviously a disappointment for us. I thought we played pretty well on defense to create 35 turnovers. We had 21 steals, and it's like I told the kids, it's like if the rim would have been even 10 feet bigger, I don't know if we would have made them. It was just one of those nights shots wouldn't fall. But hopefully you gain experience through a loss like that. The physicality of that game was unbelievable. I don't think we've played in such a game where you needed football pads to compete in. But it was a pretty brutal game, and I'm proud of this kid here for hanging tough in there. And she did a good job on their post kid. But I honestly think that each year we've grown as a program because we've gotten better in statistical areas. This year we're number 1 in free throw shooting in the state. Unfortunately, last night we were like 10 of 21. Yeah.
Right.
So I think when you get better like that, you still got to carry that into the playoffs. And, we did a great job of only allowing 50 points to a team all year, average-wise. Last night, Riverside got, hot a couple of times, but I think had we converted, it was one of those games where we could have easily won 98 or 110 to whatever they had, 71. We just didn't make our shots. And so the system has worked. I think it's just a matter of maybe a little more depth for us and having kids that really can believe in the fact that they're there. You coming from winning programs. Hopefully we can get that. And
now with Jericho, it's one of those people we're talking a little bit about depth. Jericho led your team playing almost 35 minutes a game this year. I know last night was a long night for you. You've had a long season, played a lot of time on the minutes. A lot of minutes this year. What are some of the things that you take away coming from your freshman season and losing in the playoff game that year and coming into this year? What was your your focus this year coming in?
It was hard, losing to both years, just because I think that they're both games that we could have won and we should have won, which is the only thing that's hard to accept. But you do learn a lot. You take away from each game, especially in a playoff setting, because it's different than all your other games. It's one game and you're done. It's not like the rest of your season. So really going into it, we did have the focus on defense. That was our main focus for the whole season, and then especially into the playoffs. We wanted to play good defense, and we actually did. There was times in the game where we had five steals in a row, but couldn't score on the other end again. So our defense was there. It was our offense that was off, and that hurt us last night.
One of the things that stood out statistically from last night was the fact that you guys were the best free throw shooting team in the state, and we're under 50% last night, which was shocking when we saw the statistics in a 10-point game. That does make a huge difference. But one of the things that we did see was the development of Jericho this year. Ashley Gamber, last night scored 17 points for you. She was the leading scorer in last year's playoff loss, along with Jericho last year. And the development of Kaylee Williams, a third-year player for you. What do you see from their sophomores? Your development of your sophomores, how they've moved on, and what do you see from Jericho this year and the rest of your sophomores and projecting on to next year?
I've said this all along. What we got from Jericho coming out of Morro Bay, obviously she had fundamentals coming out of the program, but she played behind some players, and here she really got a chance to blossom. I mean, when I saw her in high school, I thought, oh yeah, this could be a good project for us, and probably turning her into more of a scorer. And I thought her defense was there. And when you have a system, where you preach defense, but you also preach offense, I think that's a good combination for teams to grow. And in our particular program, you know, kids come out of high school, they play maybe 28 minutes out of 32, and here in college you go from 32 to 40. There's more games. We played 30-some games this year, and you could tell the kids that came from high school, some of them weren't really, that extra part of the season was a little bit long for them. And Jericho understood that being a sophomore, so did Kaylee, so did Ashley. So my sophomores basically could handle it. I think the freshmen will learn it's much more physical coming from a high school into a JC. The speed level's way different. The aggressiveness is way different. Practices are going to be stronger and harder. And I think that's where kids, if they're not ready for it, it can be like, uh-oh, I'm tired. This part of the, you know, injuries set in and that. So I think our kids that are coming out as sophomores are ready to go to college. I mean, even though I don't want this one to go, she was my superwoman on defense and offense this year. She was the one player we felt we had to have on the floor. Yeah. She controlled everything for us.
Jericho, you did do a lot of things this year. You led the team in steals, you led the team in shot blocks, great free throw shooting, rebounding. You almost a double-double for the season. What are the kind of things that you take coming from Morro Bay? Your high school coach went to Allen Hancock just as you were coming to Cuesta College. What was kind of the transition going from Morro Bay to here? And you'd actually come from Durango, Colorado, and then here, and then...
I would say the transition from Durango to California was like bigger than the transition from playing for Norelli than playing for Barba. Like I found like some similarities in that, and like I do think he helped me like in high school to get to the next level. And I didn't really want to play really for like that summer, and then like I'm so glad that I did come, and like I have like learned a lot, and like Barba's helped me so much like through just like really like helping me grow like as I play. Like that's the one thing he does is like always motivates. Like he sees like the best in people. Like he wants the best out of everybody. So like that's how he pushes. And like I just think that I've grown a lot like in that way.
Now for you, where do you play a lot of times power forward? But being on the floor the whole time, you have to play a lot of positions. Where are you most comfortable? I know you have a great outside shot, but you can also go inside. So
yeah, probably like the 4. I like my position because he like allows a lot of freedom in like that 4-5 position. Like you can either go high post or low. So like there's like a lot that you can do with it. So like I would say that's like my most comfortable spot.
Now Ron, this is your 5th year. Increased your win total every year. What is the one thing that you see as now as your program's identity, and what do you want to bring in for next year?
Obviously, I want to bring in some Jerichos, just that can log a lot of minutes and play. But also, I think, you know, in a long season such as we have to get that depth, you know. And I think that kids that can play both sides of the ball are great. But we've been fortunate if we just get a defensive player, we've been able to mold them a little bit into the offense part. I mean, what kid doesn't like to shoot? And so, you know, Jericho did say the flexibility. We do like to get up and down the floor, and we do like to take shots. I mean, 81 last night must be somewhat of a record, but hopefully we can get, you know, the finish. That kind of project is making sure we can increase our field goal percentage, stay on the focus of where we are defensively, pressuring.
Well, I think it's going to be great coming back for next season. And Jericho, I hope you make it on to the next level, and we'll wish you the best of luck. And thank you, Ron Barba and Jericho Crosby, for joining us here on Cuesta Sports Monthly. When we return, we'll have a short talk with Cuesta Athletic Director Bob Mariucci when we come back on Cuesta Sports Monthly.
Cuesta.edu. Television, radio, broadcast, communication. Explore the world of digital communication and tap into your creative genius. Television, radio, broadcast, communication.
This is your boy, the DUI, and you're listening to KGUR.org.
Your digital future is at Cuesta College right now. Log on to cuesta.edu now for enrollment dates and class information.
Don't get the boom in the shot.
Blowing it, bro.
Cuesta.edu.
We're back to Cuesta Sports Monthly with Athletic Director Bob Mariucci here on Cuesta College campus. Bob, welcome back to Cuesta Sports Monthly. A lot of things happening in the athletic department recently. The big bond passed. Looks like there's going to be a lot of structural changes to the department, at least to the physical buildings and stuff like that. What do we have looking forward to it?
Well, in the athletics area, you know, we have some projects on that list, and I think one that was obvious and up front was our swimming pool, which is going to have some renovations done to it and so forth. So, you know, our pool facility has had some problems over the years, so that was very grateful, you know, that bond passed, and for athletics to have that project kind of on the forefront of the projects to be done. Then also our gymnasium has some renovations and repairs to take place. Our gym floor has been there forever, and it's not very forgiving on the you know, with as far as the wood and so forth, so that needs to be replaced. So we're actually looking forward to those projects. I know they're going to take some time and some years, but those are two big areas that that bond will help at least athletics.
They talk about how athletics is one of the first sections of the new campus to be built 35 some odd years ago. Then at that time there's also the change in the Prop 13, and money was tight at those times. So there's a lot of structural stuff. There's been a lot of constant work that's maintenance being done on those buildings. Now we have an opportunity to do some big changes on those things.
Yeah, like you said, they're probably the oldest buildings on this campus over in our neck of the woods. So we're excited about it, and you know, the coaches will be excited about, you know, like you said, the gym, it really needs a lot of
four
care.
Sports in the gym with basketball, both basketball, men's and women's, volleyball, wrestling, four sports in the pool, men's and women's, water polo and swimming. So you have a lot of more than half of your athletic department is it's in those two facilities. So that's a good opportunity to fix some of those things.
Yeah.
So you're really looking forward to that. Although there are, like you said, there will be some challenges coming forward, moving, you know, working around the construction with these teams, trying to keep them in.
Yeah, definitely. Especially, you get moved out of the pool, you got to find a place to swim. And if you get moved out of the gym, you got to find places to have practices. So those will be all challenges for us down the road and you know, in the near future. So we're starting to look at those now to try to address them now. So
we'll look forward to seeing some of those changes. I mean, we look around campus. There's a lot of things that do need updating, and I think that's going to be great. Technology and some of the things that are happening. Yeah. So it's an exciting time here for Cuesta College. So that's and we get to start down there in athletics first. So that's great. Yeah. Well, you guys have been doing a lot of projects already, but with the Booster Club, and I'm just kind of curious what's happening with the Booster Club. Booster Club President Jim Battersby, longtime supporter, and he'll be joining us on next Cuesta Sports Monthly. But he'll be moving on. And what do you have going with the Booster Club right now?
Well, again, a tremendous group for me to work with, and our coaches. So they're still active. You know, we do our Booster Club membership, and we're always seeking people to get involved. And now with some of the board members leaving, you know, we'll probably be looking this late spring and early summer to fill some positions on our board. But a very active group, great group to work with. They started providing through the Dockside restaurant in Morro Bay with Mark Tognazzini, you know, barbecues every last Monday of the month on campus here, chicken and ribs, and you know, so they're staying active, trying to keep raising money for our student athletes, and they're doing a great job. It's actually raised a lot of money for us.
Yeah, I see a lot of people running around with their chicken and ribs on those
so days. I'm Chicken Bob and chicken ribs. Yeah.
And now you're saying is that there is room on the Cuesta Booster Board for those who want to be involved with the Cuesta athletics.
Absolutely.
Give Bob a call, right? Is that
absolutely?
Who so give Bob a call out here at Cuesta and help join the Boosters. It's a great organization. And very involved with the athletics and with the community too, so that's great.
Absolutely.
So, all right, well, let's go on. What are some? You have the chicken and ribs, and what are some of those other things the Booster Club's looking forward to? I mean, usually we have another project. We've had Super Bowl tickets. We've had all sorts of things. Is there anything on the docket for coming up?
Yeah, you know, our giveaways that we have had in the past with our giveaways and grand prize drawings, we're continuing to do that. We're putting together some things for the fall with football again, whether it's Super Bowl or Rose Bowl or whatever, but we're in discussions on what we're going to do in the fall. But again, a very active group and always looking to help our student athletes, and so we're continuing working on that.
And student athletes, as a segue naturally right into this, student athletes here at Cuesta College is something that we do very well. Coach Casey Blair talked about it, how they look for real students who can play basketball when they're recruiting players. Coach Barba talked about how his players move on and how he's looking to have them go on. We have one of the most honored athletic departments in the state when it comes to state athletic academic awards. Mm-hmm. We just had three new winners and our sixth straight member of the state honor roll with wrestler Jeff Merker. If you want to talk a little bit about that, I think yeah, that'd be great.
Absolutely, and Pete, and you're heavily involved with that process as far as nominating teams, and again, I would just say that the most proud thing that I am of our department is how our student athletes succeed, not only on the field but in the classroom, and that's the most important, and you know that. And again, we just received 3 teams across the state that are men's basketball, women's swimming, and women's track that were named the top athletic teams in their sports respectively. And then Jeff Merker, a wrestler, former Marine, a tremendous young man, was named one of the top 10 scholar athletes in California. And one thing I don't think people realize is that there are nearly 26,000 athletes that compete in California community colleges. So if you're named one of the top 10 athletes academically, that's quite an accomplishment and a recognition. So it's a lot of work behind it. It starts with the student athletes that we get. Very good student athlete, students. Then it goes to the coaches. That's their philosophy. Hey, we need to succeed in the classroom. Our counselors, make sure they're in the right classes, make sure they're succeeding. Our eligibility people, so it's filtered all the way up to the president. That is our goal and philosophy, is to make sure these kids succeed in the classroom. And again, to get recognized for that is it just feels good. It's a great accomplishment for Cuesta College and all of us. So, hopefully we continue that.
Yeah, we talk about some of those numbers. 24 scholar teams since 1999, 18 members of the on the individual state scholar honor roll, 3 overall winners. Last year, more than 50% of our student athletes earned academic all-conference. The average GPA is over 3.0, so it's really exciting. Next year, hopefully, we'll have a few more to talk about. It's always great to have those guys. Looking back at the fall, what do you see coming in? We had some successful fall teams, and we have the Athlete of the Year banquet coming up. I just want to see if you had any predictions for that coming up.
Yeah, no predictions, but again, a great fall, a great basketball season. We're just getting done with that. You met with Jericho and Ron and Rusty and his coaches, but it was really a tremendous basketball season, and the men are still rolling. So again, back in the fall, you had a women's water polo team that was outstanding. And so we look forward to new kids coming in next year, and we're in spring sports right now, baseball, softball, track, and swimming. So it just continues to roll, and everybody's doing well, and I'm looking forward to our spring sports competing now. So
success all year round here at Cuesta College. That concludes today's edition of Cuesta Sports Monthly. To stay up to date on Cuesta Athletics, visit the Cuesta Athletic website for information on all of Cuesta Athletics teams. We'd like to thank today's guests, Casey Blair, Alex Engel, Ron Barba, Jericho Crosby, and of course, Bob Mariucci. The show is produced by and at Cuesta College by the Cuesta Broadcast Communications Department as part of the Cuesta TV project. Check out Channel 9 all year long for this show, as well as other ongoing broadcasts of Cuesta athletic events. I'm Peter Schuler. For all of us here at Cuesta, thanks for watching, and thank you for your support of Cuesta Athletics.